What's going on, guys? Welcome to the R&D Movie Podcast. I am DJ Gruber, and that's Ryan Brower. And today we're going to be talking about Return of the Jedi today and our breaking news / hot takes today.
I was actually ready to chip in there and say my name, but you actually did the job for me there, so I appreciate it, brother. You guys are going to notice, too, I have a little bit of a different setup going on today. I'm actually not currently in my home, so I'm currently at my aunt and uncle's place. I'm sitting, I got a nice chair behind me here, so I got that going for me, but I've got you guys can tell I got my microphone in my hand here, so a little bit of a different setup for this particular podcast, but still happy to be here today, giving you guys the content that y'all hopefully came here to see.
For sure. You look comfy in that chair, man.
Yeah, dude, I think I need something like this for my own place when I record videos. I actually, believe it or not, I am working on building an at-home studio in my own home. So I actually have that. You'll see it when we hang out in a couple days, DJ. But I actually did just purchase a desk from Costco that I'm going to have set up, and then I'm going to get a chair. So it's gonna start coming along, hopefully within these next couple of months.
No way, man. Good for you. I'm excited.
Thank you guys for everybody for checking this out. This is episode 3 now of the podcast, where we're going to be talking about the final installment of the Star Wars Original Trilogy. And this personally, you guys, is a lot of the times it's my second favorite movie behind Revenge of the Sith. But then there's other days where I think no, this actually might be my favorite Star Wars movie. I love Return of the Jedi.
I'm telling you, man, it's the cherry on top, man. You have New Hope, which was, the beginning of a fantastic trilogy. Empire Strikes Back, which was a good sequel. And then to put the cherry on top of the sundae, Return of the Jedi, man. One of the great movies of Star Wars.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So before we get into that, though, we've got our first segment that we like to do here on the podcast, where we go over some breaking news bits in the film industry. So the first one I want to talk to you about real quick before we get into the big one is the Avengers Doomsday trailers. Have you been keeping up with those?
Yes, I have. And I was just about to talk to you about it, too, because, bro, when this movie comes out, it is going to shatter movie records, Rotten Tomatoes. This movie is going to be good.
They are putting a lot of stock into the cast for this movie, with the amount of heroes that are going to be in it. And really they're pulling on the nostalgia bits, right? Bringing back Captain America, utilizing people like the X-Men. It's incredible.
Fantastic Four.
Well, but the Fantastic Four, though, is relying on their new cast. You know what I'm saying? When I say nostalgia, I'm talking from back in the day with the X-Men movies, even just using someone like Steve Rogers, who we haven't seen it, since 2019. So even that has been 6-7 years, however many it is. I didn't mean to just do a 6-7 thing there. I'm sorry. In all honesty, man, they got me really excited for this movie. Even just seeing Thor in his trailer, that for me, I think I like that trailer more than most people, because for me, that was a signal to we're going back to Infinity War Thor. The Thor that I really got into as one of my favorite MCU characters. The movie made me it shot Thor up my list of favorite characters, and I was okay, I think we're getting somewhere here, because Thor Love and Thunder, no. So we get away from that, bring back Infinity War Thor, thumbs up from me.
Bro, when I saw the X-Men trailer with Captain Picard and Gandalf in it, as, Professor X and Magneto, I'm
yeah,
they're bringing them back, baby. They're bringing them back. They better not screw this up here. They're bringing the OGs back.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And then just seeing Cyclops at the end, too. And listen, I've been maybe not so much vocal on here because, I haven't really talked about too much X-Men on the channel, but Cyclops has always been my least favorite X-Men, whether it was the animated series, whether it was the movies, the live action movies from the 2000s. I've just never been a Cyclops guy. But I think just judging by the end of that X-Men trailer, I think they're going to do something big with him in this movie and let this guy actually stand out a bit more than what they gave him in the original X-Men movies.
Well, let's be real here. Cyclops, yes, he has his, X-ray vision and all that, but let's be honest here. Honest take. Should Wolverine be the leader of X-Men?
Dude, I'll tell you this much. When I first got into the X-Men, I thought Wolverine was the leader. I had no idea that it was Cyclops.
Honestly, that's what I did too when I watched the animated series at first.
Yeah, dude, Wolverine. Wolverine's my favorite X-Men. And like if we're going back to the animated series, because I love that animated series as well.
Season 2 is coming out this year too, by the way, season 2.
Oh, for X-Men 97? Heck yeah,
yes.
Man. I can't wait for that. I absolutely cannot wait for that. I'd say, obviously, Wolverine's my favorite, and then probably Rogue as a close second.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I like Rogue. She's cool. Yeah, she's cool.
I put Storm on that list. She is one of my favorites.
Storm would be my number 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see when they brought her back for, what was that, like, What If?
Yeah, I did. Bro, that was a good episode, honestly.
When I found out that they were bringing her in, I was like, oh, let's go. We're doing this. Come on now.
She was wearing her original outfit, too, for that episode. And I'm like, yes.
Yes. But DJ, I think we got to transition to our other big topic. You and I have been waiting for this for the longest time, but it is official. Reports came out last week. I made a video on it. That Kathleen Kennedy is officially out the door at Lucasfilm, and it was just made official the night before this recording. It is a sight to see. Now, you might be thinking, what pencil pusher did they put in her place? What Disney shill did they put in there? Oh, how about just Dave Filoni, of all people? George Lucas's apprentice has taken her place at the top of the throne. You'll love to see it.
Hallelujah, man. How long have we been enduring Kathleen Kennedy? Like, let's be real here. I feel like we've been enduring Kathleen Kennedy for too long, man. Ugh.
In the words of Yoda, at an end your rule is, and not short enough it was.
Mm-hmm. Bro, what makes this even better is that Dave Filoni is taking over Star Wars. All day, man. All day.
Dude, the Clone Wars and Rebels fan in me was like super giddy about that announcement, man, because like I'm such a fan of those two shows, and I honestly think that right now, if there's anybody in Lucasfilm that can deliver the closest thing to George Lucas Star Wars possible, besides George Lucas, it's Dave Filoni. So I'm very optimistic about the future of Star Wars. I'm hoping so anyway. Fingers crossed. And I mean, there was a little bit of bad news to come out of this news as well, is that the Mando crossover movie Endgame Heir to the Empire level event is getting delayed, which I would have to assume now is because Dave is now in a bigger role now. He's getting more power, so he's probably going to have a lot more to do before that movie comes out, unless maybe they plan on releasing more like Mando content or Ahsoka content in the years leading up to it. So we'll have to see.
Wait, is that Mandalorian movie still coming in May?
It is, yes. The movie that I'm talking about is the Dave Filoni movie where like all of the shows were going to cross over with each other, like Mandalorian, Book of Boba, Ahsoka, all of them, and make like a big. Basically, it was going to. I think the whole premise of it was going to kind of be like the Heir to the Empire novel. I've been calling it like the Mandoverse Avengers Endgame as well, because that's kind of what it feels like. So. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Bro, they can take their time. Now that Filoni's taken over, take their time. I'd rather see a great Star Wars movie than, a rushed Star Wars movie, because we've seen that too many times.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm pumped for this.
Bro, I shed a tear of happiness today, and I kind of, did a little victory lap around my dorm room today. And I'm just like, yeah, we're free. Us Star Wars fans are free.
I mentioned it in my video too, but there was something in the air this year, dude, just at the start of the year that I was like, dude, I think 2026 might be a good year for Star Wars, because it's been a minute since we've had a really good year for Star Wars. And I don't know, I was feeling something in the air. And then when I heard that, that rumor at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. And then a week later, everything that was reported on became official. And I was like, all right, we're doing this. Like, I think Star Wars is finally going to start getting back to a place where it feels exciting to be a Star Wars fan again.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and that's the most gratifying thing.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be awesome, man. I cannot wait.
So now we got to get into our other segment that we like to do here on the podcast and just talk about like any movies or TV shows that we've watched recently, whether it's stuff we've seen before or haven't seen before. So I guess, DJ, I'll start with you. Anything in particular you want to talk about?
Well, before Netflix got it off their series for the new year, I watched like the first 2 Kung Fu Panda movies, bro.
Yeah, they took them off Netflix. What the heck?
Bro, I'm mad. I haven't even watched the 3rd movie yet. I'm mad.
Oh, the 3rd movie, I don't think you're missing much. But yeah, man,
No.
I was like, what the heck?
But like, bro, I was having fun watching Kung Fu Panda, bro. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was getting me back to my childhood days, where you see a Kung Fu Panda movie and then it's in the morning the Kung Fu Panda shorts, man. Like, bro, I was enjoying it. I've been watching the Kung Fu Panda stuff, man, and let me just say, man, the 2 movies, first 2, they are classics, man. Like, I could watch those over and over again and not be sick of it.
Should we, I think now that we're talking about Kung Fu Panda, maybe now might be a good time to give away that our next movie that we're going to talk about here on the channel is Kung Fu Panda. And I'm very excited for that because I haven't seen that movie in, oh my gosh, it maybe has been like over a decade at this point since I've seen the movie in full. So I'm very excited to talk about that here. And it's going to be our first official like movie that's not Star Wars related for us to talk about here on the channel. For the podcast, so I'm very excited about that.
Bro, the first movie, I cannot wait to talk about it. I love Tai Lung in that movie. Best villain in that whole trilogy. Wait, the whole Kung Fu Panda franchise.
Any other movies or shows that you've been watching?
Madagascar 3, and that's a classic.
Okay, Madagascar 3. All right, so a lot of like animated movies from like our childhood and stuff. I respect it.
I watched a lot of DreamWorks. Like, I even watched Shrek 2 over break.
Dude, DreamWorks movies, like, they're such classic movies, man. I'm hoping that Shrek 5 is good.
Bro, we were spoiled growing up with these DreamWorks movies.
Dude, we were so spoiled, man. It's like you look at some of these animated movies now, and it's like, what the heck are they doing? And then it's like you look at the movies.
Kids.
Dude, we had it so good growing up. We had it. Dude, 2000s Disney is so damn good.
Bro, we had Disney movies. We had those DreamWorks movies. Like, bro.
Yeah, not just Disney, but DreamWorks too. Yes, you're right.
And it's just like, bro, what are these movies today? It's like, what happened to making a classic movie?
Yeah, no, they don't. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation for sure. Well, I guess I can talk about some of the stuff that I've been watching recently, DJ. So around the holiday season, I watched a Christmas movie for the first time ever, and I had never seen before. And I put Christmas movie in air quotes because I think it's debatable if it's a Christmas movie, and that's Die Hard.
Oh, I watched it too, man. It is a Christmas movie. It's a good movie.
I had never seen Die Hard before. I watched it over the holidays with my family. I loved it. It's such a good. I understand why everybody loves it.
Bro, I saw it for the first time with my dad over break, and it's a classic, man. I'm just like, wow, how did I not watch this movie sooner? It's so good.
I also went and saw Avatar Fire and Ash in theaters, which I thought was really good. I'm a huge fan of the Avatar series. I know people, one of the big criticisms that I've seen about the movie is that it's a lot like the second movie. And I think in some ways it definitely is. Like, there were definitely scenes that I was watching. I was like, wait, did they turn on the other movie? What's going on here? Because there were some scenes that definitely replicated the last movie, so I get it. But you know what? Overall, I like the stories that they tell with these Avatar movies, and it's a nice escape, into like a fantasy land and stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm a sucker for. So yeah, man, love those movies.
I got a question for you. Would you be one of those people that is in all blue Avatar wear for like, a Comic-Con per se or an Avatar?
Oh, like a Comic-Con? Yeah. Dude, I don't know if I have the patience for cosplay. And I've said that before. Like the dedication that it takes for like these people to like commit to that stuff. It's like when I was at Star Wars Celebration, man, like I was just so in awe of what people were doing. Oh my gosh, mad respect to all the cosplayers out there. I don't think I could ever personally do it though.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious because, I know you and your brother love Avatar so much. I'm like, maybe you two could be Avatar twins one day.
And then the other stuff I've been watching recently, I've been going through some like television series as well. I went through my yearly watch of Star Wars Rebels because I have to do that. It's such a great show.
I'm on season 2 right now. I've been watching Rebels lately.
Okay. Another show that I just watched through for the second time ever was through the second season of ANAKIN, which is a League of Legends show. I think you've seen the first season, right?
I've seen the first season, not the second season.
Okay, dude, you gotta. Season 2, I don't think season 2 is as good as season 1, but the Jinx storyline in that season is so damn good.
Yeah,
like, for that reason alone, you have to watch it.
Yeah, my roommate was telling me season 2 wasn't as good, but for Jinx, it's a good storyline.
For Jinx and Vi, like, their part of it is like, it's so damn good. It carries the show. Like, without that, the show really doesn't have much going for it. But that storyline in particular is so damn good.
Good to hear. I may have to watch it in the near future.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing, DJ, you might, I don't know if you've seen this one before, because I haven't watched through the series in its entirety before. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've started watching through it in chronological order, is the Batman animated series from the 90s.
Bro, that's the best animated series. I've watched all of it, man. It's very good.
Okay, so I'm through, I think I'm through like the first 25 episodes or something like that, and I'm so in love with it, dude.
Bro, the first 25 are classics, man. You can't go wrong with those.
I've watched the Justice League animated series and Justice League Unlimited. I love both of those shows. I adore both of those shows. Those are like just top tier, all-timer shit is like what those shows are. The Batman series I've definitely been enjoying too. My plan was to go through that universe, because that's one of the things I've always been meaning to do. So I'm going to watch through the Batman animated series. Then I'm going to go through the Superman series and then like any of the movies and stuff that fall in between there as well. And then I'll watch through Justice League again, just because, again, I love that show.
Oh, I've been watching Superman animated series lately too, man. It's a classic too.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm telling you, man, the more I watch Superman animated, it is really good, man. You would love it.
See, I've been like so hesitant about watching through Superman, because like I've always had this perception about Superman, because like, don't get me wrong, like I feel like in more recent times, like through, I guess, like my college years is where I really started getting into DC stuff. Because before that, it was like, I wasn't really much of a superhero guy. Like obviously I like Batman and stuff, and I knew Spider-Man. And then, as the MCU started doing their stuff, I really got into the MCU. But I was never really into DC until my friend from college introduced me to the Justice League Unlimited series. And I was like, bro, why is this so much better than any of the live action movies that they had put out at that time? Because like I didn't like Batman versus Superman. The first Justice League movie that they did before the Snyder Cut thing was so god awful.
Oh, and we don't need to talk about that.
And it's one of those things that like personified why I didn't like Superman, because it's like, well, he just shows up and he solves all the problems and stuff, and it's like, what's the point of all the other heroes? He just comes in, it's like he's OP as all heck, there's nothing to him. But like I've been told by a lot of people, it's like, okay, the Superman animated series, it's different, like it's not the same. And even watching through like the Justice League animated series, I could see it too, like Superman is a bit of a different character in there as well. So I definitely shouldn't put all of my portrayal or my thoughts of Superman towards that universe, because they just did it poorly. And this is coming from somebody that, like, I think that Henry Cavill is a fantastic Superman. Like, there is one of my favorite live action castings for a superhero. Like, he's that good. But the way that they wrote his character through that set of movies is terrible.
Oh yeah, it's not even worth seeing again. Like, I saw him one time and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But
one and done. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, for Superman animated, it is different, and you're gonna like it. It's gonna take you at least 1 or 2 episodes, but I think you'll love it, man. It's a good show.
Sure. Okay. Well, DJ, I think it's time for us to start talking about the movie that we all came here to talk about today, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, man. The best Star Wars movie of the... Wait, oh, man, because all 3 movies are good. I'm just going to call it a great movie of the trilogy.
That's fair. For me personally, it's my favorite of the original trilogy. I love Return of the Jedi. I think a lot of my enjoyment from this movie nowadays, too, comes from all of the other Star Wars content that we've gotten over the years. And the reason why I say that is because one of the big parts of this movie that I love so much is like the Luke and Vader storyline. And I think like the more Star Wars content that they add in between that time with like Anakin Skywalker has only added to how much I love this movie. Everything from like Star Wars Rebels and the confrontation between Ahsoka and Vader there, the stuff in the Kenobi series with Obi-Wan and Anakin, and like all these people that are like trying to bring Anakin back to the light and they just can't do it. And it's like they can't do it, but his son can. And that to me is like the most powerful thing about this movie, is that only the love of Anakin's son can fully bring him back to the light. And that's what makes me just adore this movie so much, is that storyline.
Bro, there are so many like epic scenes and like, touching moments to us fans. It's like, wow, you can't even choose one moment, because there were so many scenes in this movie where you see the whole character development just, take off, and you're like, wow, that was beautiful. It was like seeing cinema through the whole movie from beginning to end.
Dude, even the stuff at the beginning in like Jabba's palace, like I'm a fan of that too. The Jabba palace stuff is very good, because obviously, as we see at the end of Empire Strikes Back, Han is frozen in carbonite. Boba Fett takes him to Jabba's palace. So the first part of this movie is like us going to try and get Han and rescue him. And it's like they make several attempts and it fails every single time, because Luke tries to offer up 3PO and R2 as like a bargaining chip to get Han back, right? Like both are hardworking and will serve you well. But that doesn't turn out well. Then you've got Leia that goes in there, right, with Chewie. That whole mission ends up failing. And then you've got, obviously Lando's in there too, and that doesn't work out. So then Luke has to go in there like by himself. And man, another reason why I love this movie so much, this is my favorite iteration of Luke Skywalker, like Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. And like the minute that he walks into that palace and he force chokes the guards, it's like, holy shit, this is dark. Like this is a much different Luke than we've gotten in either of the other two movies.
The Man in Black, he was like Johnny Cash when he entered the palace, wearing all black, just force choking the guards. It's like, okay, this is a Luke on business here. I can stand behind that.
What's crazy too, DJ, is like they have like this crazy scene here, but like 5 minutes earlier, everybody's like singing and dancing in Jabba's palace, right, to the like that's so dude, that song slaps, dude. Jedi rocks. I love it.
Max Rebo band, man, one of my favorite Star Wars bands.
Dude, I know people people that grew up with the original iteration of Return of the Jedi that like had a more like generic thing. Like they hate Jedi rocks and stuff. Dude, I freaking love it, man. Like it's such a banger. I'll just put that on every now and again and I'll just be sitting there like, yeah, break it down. Like, it's so good.
Bro, it's on my Spotify playlist, man. I love that song.
Dude, I'll just, even if I'm at work or whatever, and I find myself, like, if I'm sitting in my car on my lunch break, it's like, all right, I need a motivator. Put on Jedi Rocks.
Bro, you cannot go wrong with it, because that band was just putting on, like, awesome music throughout that whole Jabba the Hutt scene, man. It was awesome.
Dude, heck yeah, man. Like, shout out to Max Rebo and that band. That was the greatest thing to ever come out of the new iterations of those movies. Like, it's great.
Would you argue they're better than the Cantina band?
Oh, yeah. I think they're better than the Cantina band for sure.
Okay, because I was going to say they're honestly better than Cantina.
One of the things that I love, too, when, like, Luke goes up to Jabba, like, he's using the Jedi mind trick on Bib Fortuna, which we see Obi-Wan use in A New Hope. And he goes up to Jabba, and Jabba's like, you weak-minded fool. He's using a Jedi mind trick. And then it's like, you see all of the aliens and stuff behind Luke. It's like, Luke, that's a lot of them. You got to take care of that. What's going on here, buddy? And, Luke's just so calm and collected that whole time, too. He's like, I'm taking Captain Solo and his friends. You can either profit by all this or be destroyed. It's your choice, Jabba, but I warn you not to underestimate my power. And then 3PO's trying to warn Luke, Master Luke, you're standing on the, the thing that opens up the trap door, because he saw it used earlier on, what was her name? Ula, the green, the Twi'lek. Yeah, and then Luke falls through it, and he has to fight the freaking Rancor, this giant, like, monster. Like, what the heck, man?
Bro, I feel bad for the Twi'lek, because when she was in the Rancor feeding zone, everyone's just like, yeah, go Rancor, eat this person. And then, and it's just like, wait, she didn't survive? Bummer.
Yeah, she wasn't gonna survive that. Luke eventually defeats the Rancor because he like throws the rock at it, and then the door comes down. That was a really well done scene, I thought.
Now, did he use the force when he threw that rock? Because he didn't have that perfect accuracy of no reason. He probably used the force to get it to the door.
Yeah. Oh, and then when they capture Leia, they put her in like the slave girl outfit. It's too bad Han was like blind for that whole time, because like that, I mean, he would have loved what he saw there, but of course he was blinded from the hibernation sickness from the carbonite.
I think Princess Leia had a couple more fans after that movie came out.
Yeah, dude. I tell you what, though, I don't think they would have done a scene like that today. I really don't. Like,
bro,
they wouldn't have done that today.
They would have been like, "That's offensive." No, we can't do that.
No,
today.
you can't have a. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. And then 3PO's just comedy relief legend again. Because he's like, "At last, Master Luke's come to rescue me."
Yeah. After all that, yeah. After what did Master Luke do? What did I do to upset Master Luke? Was it something I did?
Yeah, and then a monster's like touching him, and I'm just like, poor 3PO. He endures so much from the group.
Yeah, man, for sure. Dude, I love the scene when Han and Chewie reunite as well, and he's like, Chewie just steps out from underneath the shadow, and he just runs over like, "Oh my God, Han's here! He's not the carbonite anymore!" And he hugs him like that. That was touching. It was nice.
And then Han's just like, "I can't see, pal. Wait, what? Luke's coming? Isn't he crazy?" And he just sounds like a drunk man from a bar. It's so hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, "I go away for a few minutes, and everyone's getting delusions of grandeur."
Oh, bro. And then, once everyone is back from the Rancor scene, they get to go to the Sarlacc pit.
Yes, and then that, dude, I love the Sarlacc pit scene as well. I know we were talking a lot last time, Family Guy Star Wars. The Family Guy Star Wars episode of Return of the Jedi is like one of my favorites as well, if for nothing else. Done. Done. Look another way. Just nodding to everybody in the area. That scene is just overdone, but I love it so much. Bro,
don't forget Meg as the Sarlacc.
Why do I never get a speaking part of these movies? Shut up, Meg.
But yeah, no, just little scenes that made it funny.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we got to talk about the Family Guy Star Wars movies in depth sometime. Oh my gosh, that's great.
We're not gonna stop laughing.
Yeah, dude, but like I remember like when Luke picks up that lightsaber for the first time and it's green. I was like, "Whoa, what? Green lightsaber? I love that. Green's my favorite lightsaber color, man. I love it."
And then they play the Star Wars theme in the background. I'm like, yeah, our heroes are coming back, man. We're having the comeback here. Let's go.
And then like Luke's like tossing people in the Sarlacc pit and stuff too. It's great.
Oh, don't forget about Boba Fett.
Yeah, Boba Fett had a very like clumsy death scene here. Like he just backs up into Han, pushing his jetpack or whatever, and it like malfunctions.
Bro, they hyped him up so good in Empire Strikes Back. I'm like,
yeah,
really? This is all we get of him? That's kind of sad, but then Star Wars did some stuff with him.
Boba Fett, in that moment, though, when he went face-to-face with Luke, I was like, oh, that's a matchup right there, man. Because, like, Boba, like you said, Empire Strikes Back, they hyped that boy up. And then when he was up against Luke, I was expecting a bigger fight. But then, again, there wasn't really much to it.
No. And then, oh, my goodness, that funny scene, when Lando's, almost going to get eaten by the Sarlacc. And then, Han's trying to get him, but he's blind. And he's like, I can see a lot better now. And then I keep thinking of Family Guy again when he's like, "It's okay though." Shoots him on the leg.
He also says, "Chewie, give me the gun." Han, that's a blaster. There are no guns in Star Wars. It's blasters.
And then in Family Guy when he's like, "Wait a minute, I thought you were blind." I am. It's okay though.
It's okay. I got this. I love it.
Bro, we're gonna have to talk about these movies sometime.
Dude, we are. Dude, I love these. I love those movies so much. Yeah, what else? I mean, what else do we want to talk? We want to talk about Dagobah, like with Yoda and Luke. That was a good one.
Bro, when you see Master Yoda in Dagobah, nearing his end, I'm like, no, they're killing him. He was cool. Don't kill the cool Grandpa Green guy.
Yeah, this was a sad scene, man. This one sucks. It's like, I mean, it's obviously like I like the scene, but it sucks that Yoda died here. because Luke comes back to complete the training. That was what, he said that he would return to him, and he made a promise, and now it's like Yoda's just like, no, I'm not feeling anymore. No, you don't need any more training. As I'm sitting here yawning, maybe I'm gonna disappear like Yoda now. Forever sleep, I must now. But he's like, look, I've come back to complete the training, and Yoda says, no more training do you require. You must just kill Vader, and then you will be a Jedi. And Luke's like, wait, but is Darth Vader really my father? And Yoda confirms it, that he is. And for Luke, he's sitting there like, man, like, why didn't anybody freaking tell me about this? Like, I can't kill my own father.
And then, Obi-Wan's like telling him his whole background story. And I'm like, Obi-Wan, are you going to tell him, how you picked him up on Tatooine? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Obviously, Obi-Wan, he does really care about Anakin, but he believes that Anakin's gone. He says it here. He's more machine than man.
And then, Luke's just like, I can't just kill him. And then Obi-Wan's like, then the Emperor has won. And then, the big reveal, you have a twin sister. Whoa. Is that the other hope they were talking about at first? Yes, it was.
Yeah, the Yoda spoke of another, and that other was his twin sister, Leia.
And,
that changes the whole complexion of this movie, and also The Empire Strikes Back as well.
Bro, I just thought of right away when they had that little smooch. I'm like, wait, whoa. They smooched each other. I thought they were going to be, together.
Oh, boy. Yeah, no one saw that one coming, did they?
So when do you think Luke told Leia, like, yeah, we're twins. So whatever we did on the Hoth, let's leave that in the back window, the back.
Yeah, let's never speak of this again, is what happened there. Another big aspect to this movie as well is the side of the dark side in this movie, because obviously we have Vader, right? Like we see him at the start of the movie and it's all serious, right? Like the Emperor does not share your optimistical praise of the situation. Like you will, tell him when he arrives that he must send more men, and the Emperor is not as forgiving as I am. So Vader's like just hyping up the Emperor the whole time. And then eventually we get him in this movie, and it's meant to be like this. It's crazy because like The Empire Strikes Back really portrayed like how evil Vader was, but this movie, it's like meant to show like, oh, there's somebody that's even more evil than him out there, and that's the Emperor.
Bro, the Palpatine's so powerful. He had like a whole big escort for him when he came out of his ship.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they had like everybody on the Death Star in that hangar just waiting for him. I mean, he's the Emperor of the galaxy, man. Like he holds a lot of power. Not just like with the Force and stuff, but just in his power as a political person. He's the ruler of the galaxy.
And then like during the next couple of scenes here, Palpatine and Vader are, making their game plan to get Luke to the dark side. I'm like, oh, he's already in black garments, guys. You can turn him over to the dark side now.
Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? That Luke is wearing like a black attire, which you would think might be more of a dark side thing. That is interesting, isn't it?
If you haven't seen the prequels, it's like, okay, something's coming. But after the prequels, when you've seen Anakin do it, it's like father, like son. Okay.
Even just seeing Luke and Leia together, like on the ship when they first hug, it's like, oh, brother and sister reunite. But Leia still doesn't know. But she sees that something's bothering Luke. She asks him, right? Like, what is it? And Luke says, ask me again sometime. So it's like, oh, he's going to like hold on to this here for a minute.
When our group is getting ready, take over, Han's like, I had to say goodbye to my girl, the Falcon. No,
because he's giving her to Lando to use for the attack on the Death Star with Nai Num as his co-pilot. Shout out Nai Num.
Bro, it just amazes me, how both men care about the Falcon so much. It's just like, you better not have a scratch, man. Okay, man, just cool down, man. It'll be good.
Yeah, man. It's like they both. Yeah, obviously they both love the Falcon. They have such a mutual admiration for that ship. I should also point out as well that we get another female character like in Star Wars by the name of Mon Mothma, who I think like, especially in more recent times when it comes to Star Wars, has become like such a massive deal with all these like different shows and movies that they're putting out there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Mon Mothma, very cool. And then we get Admiral Akbar too, man. The legend himself.
The man, the myth, the legend that will never die, will always live on, and all because of 1 3 sentence or 3-word sentence.
Oh my goodness, bro. It's so funny just seeing that time is like, okay, he's important, but after when everyone's getting into the trap, everyone's just like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then he says that quote, "It's a trap."
It's a trap.
Yeah. You knew that.
It's become so iconic, man.
Like, seriously, one quote, next thing you know, you're like the next big iconic thing for like future generations of Star Wars.
Dude, they did him so dirty in Last Jedi. It like makes me mad. Because it's like everybody that worked on, and maybe we shouldn't even go down this rabbit hole, but like everyone that worked on that film, I guarantee looked at Akbar as like some joke or whatever. Like, yeah, we'll just get rid of him, whatever. And then to all the original trilogy fans, it was like, man, you little pieces of crap, you scumbags. You can't do this to us.
If we talk about that movie, I will gladly talk about why they did Akbar dirty.
Yeah, no, that's definitely one that we'll tackle probably eventually. Because I mean, we talk about how we haven't done too many original trilogy talks here on the channel. We haven't really done too many sequel trilogy talks either. So yeah, that is something we definitely have to do at some point.
I'm in no rush for that trilogy, but we should talk about it. To be like, okay, this is what happened and why we didn't like it as much.
Yeah, I will give a bit of a spoiler alert in our planning for what movies we're going to do in 2026. I don't believe the sequel trilogy movies are on that list. So to all the sequel trilogy fans that are looking forward to that, we'll have to wait a little bit longer, I guess.
We'll have to wait down further the year as we go along.
Yeah, for sure. Man, okay, here's a scene that I want to talk about from the movie. When the rebels are first making their way down to Endor, and Vader senses Luke, and Luke senses him, he's like, crap, I'm endangering the mission, I shouldn't have come. This movie, I live this movie, like, through Luke. Like, he is that's my guy right there. So, like, everything that's going on in this movie, it's like, I am, like, experiencing it through him. And so for me, I'm like, oh crap, no, Vader's gonna sense him. Oh no, what's gonna happen? And then these like, shuttle Tidarian, you've been granted access to the shield generator. Follow your present course. And Han's like, okay, everybody, I told you this was gonna work. See, no problem. And Luke has this look on his face like, huh? And I'm sat there when I'm watching it for the first time, going, huh? Okay, what's going on here? So, yeah, man, it's really interesting. And then that whole, like, father-son connection, like, kind of screws them over a little bit, right?
Bro, when you were talking about that space scene, I just kept thinking of Endor when Peter was telling Brian, act casually, and then the ship just, walks casually.
Because Han goes, keep your distance though, Chewie, but don't look like you're trying to keep your distance. I don't know, fly casual. Like, yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, and then he's just
casual.
The ship's just walking like James Bond, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's what I'm thinking of right now.
Where's that shuttle going?
But yeah,
do they have a code clearance? Well, it's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
And then you get this like forced stare off between the two of them, father and son, and it's just like it's gonna go down. Going down for real.
Yeah, it's going down for real. The speeder bike scene. That's the one that I want to talk about. That scene, man, like as a child, man, I love that movie. What's so funny?
I keep thinking of them riding like bicycles from Family Guy, bro.
Oh, so you just keep thinking of Family Guy. All right, bro, we gotta get on track of Return of the Jedi here. We gotta get on the Family Guy thing.
I keep thinking of the comedy, man. It was
funny. I know. But dude, like in all seriousness though, like that speeder bike scene, like especially as a child when you're watching that, like it's so cool when you're hearing like all the speeders, driving around. Like there's no music, you just hear the hums of the speeders. Like it's so cool. Like it's such a unique scene in that perspective, and it's a scene that goes on for almost like 5 minutes too.
Hint, Disney World, make a speeder bike ride. That'd be so cool.
Mother effer, dude. I want that so bad, man. Let me hop on one of those speeders and yes, DJ.
Yeah, man.
I need that. Well, okay, here's another story, DJ. Did you hear that they're bringing the original trilogy characters to Galaxy's Edge now?
I did. I saw that they're adding more to Galaxy's Edge. Like they're adding more maps to the Falcon ride and all that.
Yeah, it's almost like they've kind of realized that the sequel trilogy hasn't done any wonders for them, and they're finally just giving the fans what they should have given them like 10 years ago now.
Listen to the fans.
Yeah, right. My gosh. But going back to Return of the Jedi, we keep going on these tangent stuff, but it's all Star Wars related, so it's all good. What do we want to talk about? Oh, we're talking about the introduction of Wicket, the Ewok,
the teddy bears. We gotta talk about
the teddy bears. We're gonna talk about the teddy bears.
Yeah, man. What's the movie without the teddy bears?
Yeah, Wicket goes to meet Leia, who like gets knocked off her speeder like earlier in the movie, and so Wicket goes to meet Leia. Leia's like unconscious on the ground, and Wicket just like starts poking her with his spear. And Leia gets up and he's like, all right, I'm not going to hurt you, I promise. And then she sits down, she sits next to him, she gives him a cracker. And then eventually she like takes off her helmet and Wicket gets freaked out again. And he's like, no, look, it's a hat. It's not going to hurt you. She's like, you're a jittery little thing, aren't you?
He's so full of energy, man. Like, I like him. Yeah. The moment he hears an Imperial trooper, he's like, oh, stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah. All of a sudden, there's a stormtrooper that sounds exactly like Han Solo. And so then Wicket whacks him, and then Leia whacks him, and the other one that tries to get away, Leia shoots down with her blaster. Chewie does the same thing earlier to one of them with the crossbow. That one looks so much more painful. He just got blown off his speeder. It was crazy.
Chewie sees this trap that looks like food, and then they get captured. Next thing you know, all the teddy bears gather around them. Bro, it was like, whoa, what are these creatures here? They look, cuddly, but they're gonna look like they might kill you. My legend 3PO, man. He gets up, and then they're like, oh my goodness, it's a golden guy. He's like the gold robot of Midas, man. Everything he touches is gold. And so 3PO is just like, oh yeah, I can talk to them. And then sure enough, when Han's trying to talk to them, they're like, no, get away from 3PO. He's our guy. They're treating him, like as some kind of higher up. Next thing you know, 3PO's like, okay, let me see what I can do. So sure enough, they get captured. And then they're like, we're going to sacrifice for him in honor of 3PO. And then 3PO's just like, I'm just sitting here enjoying everything for once. I wonder if he thought in the back of his mind, like, yeah, guys, this is what you get for pooping on me for 2 movies.
3PO tell them they must be set free.
And, 3PO's like translating to them, set them free. But instead, you see these fire torches, and it's like, oh, so they did listen, but they're going to burn them still. Oh, okay. And then sure enough, Luke uses the Force on 3PO, and then, the whole village is frantically like, it's real. Like, the ghosts are here.
Yeah, right. He's like, 3PO, tell them if they don't do as you wish, you will become angry and use your magic. And 3PO tells them that. And everyone just like stops in their tracks for a second, like, wait, what are you going to do now? No, he's just bluffing. Don't worry about it. Oh my gosh, he's doing it.
So then, they set everyone free. And, once that Ewok let R2 free, R2's, tases him. It's like, yeah, man. Yeah, that's what you get for doing to R2, man. R2's my guy.
Yeah, man, it's great. And then I love the scene where 3PO has to like recap the original trilogy. It's like something Darth Vader, something Obi-Wan Kenobi, something Death Star, something AT-AT walkers. You hear the like the marching noise that they make, and Luke Skywalker and the explosions or whatever. And it sounds like he's telling like a horror story because the Ewoks are like, ah.
So then, after 3PO tells the whole trilogy, the whole Ewoks are looking at each other, and then sure enough, you hear good music, and then it's like, you are all part of the tribe now. And then when that Ewok hugs Han, it's like, it's what I always wanted, man. It's what I always wanted.
Tell them we need some fresh supplies. Try to get our weapons back. Hurry it up, would you? We don't got all day.
3PO could have, sacrificed you. You don't have to be a jerk to him.
Stuff. Yeah, the Han and 3PO dynamic in this movie is hilarious. I love it.
It's so funny, man. The dialogue you thought you didn't need, but you wanted.
Yeah. And then we get the scene where Luke reveals to Leia that they're siblings. Because he's like, man, Luke, what's troubling you? And Luke's like, Leia, do you remember your mother? Like your real mother? And she kind of describes, Padme a little bit. But it's so curious because you know, and obviously she describes that Padme was sad, which she was, but like it's so interesting that she would remember that when like she literally would have only met her mother the day she was born, and like how you would remember that, you know, like I don't know, it's really interesting.
It amazes me. But then, when Luke and Leia are having this dialogue, it's like, whoa, okay, this is deep here. Luke better come back.
It is a deep scene. Yeah, it is a meaningful scene.
Mm-hmm. And then,
Yeah, like he's my father. Vader is.
And then Leia's like, run away, save yourself. And he's like, I can't. I have to do this for everyone.
Yeah, and Leia even says, like, I wish I could go with you. And Luke's like, no, you don't. Like, you've always been strong. And says, like, if I don't make it back, you're the only hope for the Alliance. That the power that I have, you have that power too. And in time, you'll learn to use it as I have, because the Force is strong with my family. My father has it. I have it. My sister has it. And that's when she realizes, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. She's like, what happened? Where have I been this whole time? I've just been a princess. Am I a Jedi too now?
But then even Leia's like, somehow I've always known, which is interesting. So it's like really the Force, I guess, working in mysterious ways there. But Luke's like, okay, so then you know why I have to face him. And like, look, there's good in him. I felt it. I can save him. I can turn him back to the good side. I have to try.
Mm-hmm. And then, Luke, goes off in the distance. And then we have the whole triangle again because Han comes out and he's like, what happened? Oh, are you upset because Luke left? Is that why? Are you all about Luke now all of a sudden?
Could you tell Luke? Is that who you could tell?
Because Han's like, oh, whoa. Is this only a thing that Luke can answer now? I see how it is. Yeah, I see it.
Han thought that he was being excluded from her now. Like, oh, you can tell Luke all your secrets, but you can't tell me. It's like that, guys being insecure and stuff. Like, I get it. I get it.
It's so funny. So then, Luke gets captured, and then him and Vader have that, walk, that they always wanted to have together. And then sure enough, they're like,
oh, I love this scene.
It's so funny. Well, so good too, because Luke's like, you can turn from the dark side. And then Vader's like, it's too late for me, son. The Emperor will be your master now.
Yeah, dude, I love the lines that always stand out for me the most in this scene is when he says, the Emperor has been expecting you. Luke says, I know, Father. Vader goes, so you've accepted the truth then? And Luke goes, I've accepted the truth that you were once Anakin Skywalker, my father. And Vader just pushes back, like, that name no longer has any meaning for me. And this is my favorite dialogue of the whole bit, where he goes, it is the name of your true self you've only forgotten. I know there's good in you. The Emperor hasn't driven it from you fully. That hits so damn hard, especially, again, the more content that they put out when it comes to Star Wars. Actually, one thing that I recommend people go and watch is a Star Wars tribute by Heroes Fan Productions called The Chosen One. Yeah, so like the more stuff that they add in between episodes 3 through 6, it's so good. And the way that Heroes Fan Productions does his tribute too, it shows you all the good that Anakin did, then it shows you all the bad that he's done as Vader. And it gets to that point where, he has, Luke saying that line, right? Like, it's the name of your true self you've only forgotten. It's like, no. Look back at all the good that Anakin did. That guy is still in there. Remember that guy that y'all loved? He's still there. It's just been hidden underneath this like giant mask or whatever in this suit. The Emperor hasn't driven Anakin from us fully. Not yet anyway. So yeah, I think it's so good. I recommend everybody, that, wants to watch a good Star Wars tribute, go and watch it. Shout out Heroes Fan Productions. But yeah, like Luke's sitting there and like, come with me, Father. And Vader being like, Obi-Wan once thought as you do, but you don't know the power of the dark side. I must obey my master.
You were the chosen one.
Yeah, man. It's all there. Like the amount of people, Obi-Wan tried to bring him back. Ahsoka tried to bring him back.
Padme
couldn't do it. Padme tried to bring him back. They can't do it.
I saw a thing where, where Vader had like all the cuts, like the one from Ahsoka, Obi-Wan cut him off, and then the heart of Padme, but then Luke brought it all back together. It was a touching tribute.
Yeah, well, and one of the things I've always said, right? It's like Ahsoka cuts off one side of the mask, Obi-Wan cuts off the other. Mm-hmm. The only person to reveal the full mask is Luke.
Moving on with the movie now. They got into, the back of, the shield generator. So, but then you hear the into the trap music, and then it's like, oh, something's about to happen. 3PO's a legend. He's like, they've been captured. R2, stay with me. Because, Wicked left to get his teddy bears.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta go get help. And then 3PO's like, R2, stay with me. All the rebels get captured, and then in comes the rebel fleet. Man, I love a good space battle. A large portion of the back half of this movie is dedicated to the space battle. Yeah, so then that's where we get, Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 37. It's a trap!
And then, these TIE fighters coming in, and it's like, oh, it's going down for real now. And
is this the introduction of the TIE interceptors as well?
I believe so, yeah. You have these capital ships, waiting, and then Emperor's like, come, boy. See for yourself the fall of the Rebel Alliance. And then he's like saying, like, you are mine, Luke, like your father. And take your weapon. Strike me down, and your journey to the dark side will be complete. Like, he's just rubbing it in his face. Like, your friends are gonna lose. I have the power. Yeah, that's right. I'm the champion, guys. I'm the emperor.
And then he's like, an entire legion of my best troops await them down there. I would not have said that, Palps. I would not have said that. I say that because they get defeated by a bunch of teddy bears. That's why I say that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and we're getting to that scene, too. So, all is looking doom and gloom. And then, 3PO and R2 are going to get captured. But then come the teddy bears! The teddy bears saved the day. And then, bows and arrows are coming out. And it's like, oh, yeah, the teddy bears. Yes. Bro, the teddy bears made me so happy. And I enjoyed it so much. I laughed a bit watching it last time. It was so good. Yeah. And, everyone's guns and blazing, It's like, whoa. It's like a Wild West shootout out here.
I love watching, Harrison Ford just, take his pistol and just, bam, knock one guy out. Bam, knock another guy out. It's so good.
It's so good.
Shoots him between the eyes.
And then, you get the Ewoks on the speeders. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about here. That's hardcore.
And then they, eventually they hijack an AT-ST as well with the help of Chewbacca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Battle of Endor, man, it's good stuff.
Bro, it's so good. Seriously. And then, oh my gosh, another 3PO moment here. So, R2 has to, go and get the door open. And then 3PO's like, you can't leave me here. Come back! I can't help but laugh at it, man.
Great.
Seriously, through all three movies, 3PO is comedic relief.
Yeah,
man.
He's the comedic relief. Yeah, you're right. When the the part where the Ewoks, they try taking down the walker by throwing a rope around its legs, and it just does not work. And they all just tumble and fall.
Yep.
The Ewoks have to be able to adapt, right? Because they're going up against heavy machinery that they have not, their sticks and stones can't combat. So they have to get innovative with how they take these things down.
Mm-hmm. You get Ewoks swinging from ropes and knocking them down, throwing rocks down at them, oh, and don't forget about the scene where they let tree logs go and then, the walkers fall.
What happened to the AT-AT that was in that forest? We see it when Vader lands, but I would have thought that would have been used here in the battle, but I guess not.
Maybe it had a patrol somewhere not near the battle.
Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. And then, yeah, man, the part 2 where R2 gets freaking shot at one point by a stormtrooper.
But then, Leia gets shot too, and then just when they're about to surrender, she holds a gun, shoots them both, and then Chewie comes on. It's like, oh no.
Oh, and they do the "I love you, I know" line, but in reverse. Han's the one that says "I love you," and Leia says "I know."
And no one got carbon freezed. And then we get the best scene in all of the movie: Luke and Vader fighting one more time.
This is such a different fight from Empire Strikes Back. When you watch that Empire fight, it's you can clearly tell that Vader's better, and that you almost kind of feel like he's taking it easy on Luke through the majority of the fight because, he obviously isn't trying to kill him. This fight, though, Luke is not only on par with Vader, I might even argue that Luke actually might be better than Vader at this point. I mean, Luke definitively, in many ways, beats him in this fight. It's such a different fight, and I love it.
I'm going to make a sports analogy here, but, in Empire Strikes Back, the way I think of Luke is how I think of the Brewers in the playoffs. They couldn't stand a chance against the Dodgers, which was Vader. But then, hopefully someday, the Brewers will be like Return of the Jedi and, be like, yeah, we have the power now. But
oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, that'll never happen. Maybe if we get a bigger If we get like a billionaire owner or something like that that invests a lot of money into our team, maybe we can have that. But other than that, that'll probably never happen.
But yeah, the way I think of that Empire fight, I think of, how the Brewers, got, destroyed in the NLCS.
I think what's interesting too about this fight is like Palpatine's almost trying to coach Luke. So you do kind of sit there thinking like, wait, does he want Luke to win this fight? Like, what's he thinking?
Well, the minute they start clashing, he's just smiling like, excellent, everything's going to plan. Luke kicks Vader down, and he's like, good, use that anger, let it drive you.
I love how he throws his lightsaber up at that, tower or whatever. The whole thing just falls down.
Mm-hmm. And then Emperor's like, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And then Luke goes hiding, and Vader's like, give yourself to the dark side is the only way you can save your friends. And then he, because Luke's sitting there thinking about Leia. Also interesting as well, half of Luke's face is blue, like a dark blue, almost representing like his darker half, and the other side is like his normal face. So I found that interesting, especially as I got older. But then Vader's like, oh, you have a twin sister. Yo, Obi-Wan was wise to hide her from me, but if you will not turn to the dark side, then perhaps she will. And Luke just turns on his saber like, never! And then he just goes all out on Vader, man. Oh,
bro, he goes full rogue, man.
Dude, and then, and again, it's like Luke wins, like in the end. Like Vader was no match for him. He just hammer, bam, 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 and then eventually takes him out. It's like, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. And then, Palpatine comes down and he's like, good, apprentice. Take your place at my side and leave your father in the dust.
Yeah, so he wants Luke to be his apprentice now. He's pulling a Count Dooku Anakin situation from Revenge of the Sith. And Vader's probably got to be sitting there like, oh, crap. I've seen this happen before. Oh, crap. I'm done. Now it's my turn to go.
But Emperor never said, kill him now. And you don't see, Luke holding both lightsabers like, I shouldn't.
Yeah, but I mean, he wanted Luke to kill Vader and take his place in that moment.
He did.
Yeah.
But something that Luke did, that Anakin didn't, he's like, no.
He throws his weapon away.
Mm-hmm.
True Jedi moment.
It's crazy to think, man, like how in the original script, Luke was originally supposed to turn to the dark side.
Really?
That's what I thought. I thought we were talking about this one time, that Luke was originally supposed to go rogue.
I think, what's such a powerful thing about that moment, though, is, the whole idea that Luke's like, no, I'm actually not going to join you. I'm not going to kill my father because I love him, and I'm a Jedi. I'm basically representing what the Jedi, I think, should be. It's interesting. You remember in Clone Wars Season 1 when... what's that one Lerman's name? Like Tiwaka or whatever. And he's having that conversation with Ayla Secura. And he says something like, only when you lay down your weapon to pursue a course of nonviolence can you make a claim to me that the Jedi are peacekeepers. That's exactly what Luke did in this moment. He's like, no, I'm not going to use my weapon. I love my father. I'm a Jedi like him before me. And then Palpatine's like, if you will not be turned, you will be destroyed. I'm like, what are you going to do? What the heck is that?
Lightning.
No, I know. I meant what the heck is Palpatine doing? Because you're watching that as a kid, like, what are you going to do, old man? Oh, what kind of force power is that?
And then the first time watching, I'm like, whoa. Clearly, Grandpa Palpatine here has got some power we don't know about.
Well, I was going to say, because everyone kept putting over, how powerful this Emperor guy was. I'm like, well, I mean, what? He's the ruler of the galaxy. What else can he do? And you see that, and it's like, oh, now I get it.
You just make that light bulb in your head, like, okay, so that's why he's the Emperor. Okay.
Yeah, that's why he's, so powerful, and everybody fears him.
Zappity
zap.
Bibbity bobbity boo.
Yeah.
So, Palpatine, is just, destroying Luke at this point. And then Vader gets up. And then he's just, seeing his son suffer. And Luke's like, Father, help me. I'm getting my butt kicked again. Like last time, but worse.
Yeah, and Vader just keeps like looking back and forth between Palpatine and then at Luke and at Palpatine and then at Luke, and it's just like, oh, who should I help or whatever. And then in the newer versions of the movie, you'll hear him go, "No, no." I don't like that. That's like one of the newer edits that I was never a fan of. I think it's more effective when Vader doesn't say anything at all and his actions do the talking. That it's like he doesn't need to no amount of dialogue. What am I trying to say? No amount of dialogue can like truly tell the story of what Vader is doing in that moment. His actions tell the story, not words. That's what I'm trying to say. His actions tell the story of like, I am going to help my son and remove this guy from power. And in doing so, does the thing that Anakin was always prophesized to do, and that's bring balance to the Force.
It took him a while later, but like they say, actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, and I guess better late than never, right? Like so in that moment, if Anakin Skywalker comes back and he fulfills the Chosen One prophecy.
After he supposedly, threw Palpatine over the edge, and we don't see him again. He's just over the edge like, I did it. I did it. The Chosen One did it. And then he's just laying there like, I did my job. I can rest now.
Yeah, I'm done now. Yeah, I'm cooked. Well, and there was always stories too, like you read later on and stuff that like Palpatine made Vader's suit to where like if he ever needed to use Force lightning on him, that it would like immediately weaken him. So like I always found that interesting, and like how Vader was so quick to be like weakened from the Force lightning, which again is a very interesting concept. But when they're going to the ship and he's like, Luke, help me take this mask off. He's like, let me look on you with my own eyes. Like, that's powerful stuff.
And it's like, whoa, we're actually going to see the real Vader here, because you've seen like hints of his, bald head, but you haven't seen like the whole face after the whole incident. And
then the last words he tells him, right, is like, go, my son, leave me. And Luke's like, no, you're coming with me. I'll not leave you here. I've got to save you. And he goes, you already have, Luke. You were right about me. Tell your sister that you were right. And then he ends up dying.
Powerful moment.
Yeah, man, because it's like the main bad guy that we've known through all three of these original trilogy movies actually ends up going to the light side, to the good side, and you feel sympathy when he dies. Even if you're just watching, even if you haven't seen the prequel movies before, and I was someone who grew up with the original trilogy movies first, so I didn't know the story of the prequels, but it's like even when Return of the Jedi happens, I still felt sad when Vader died, because it's like, he does come back to the good side. He does do the right thing. He does help his son. And it's like, you want to see him get away and maybe have like, Anakin can change his life. They have the father-son relationship or whatever. And then just know he's gone and you can't.
It's like, it was such a powerful moment because you've seen that build up from A New Hope to now. It's like, wow, it's so sad, when you see, the villain you grew up watching, be a good guy, but at the end, not be around much longer.
Yeah, it's so interesting because it's like, this dude, you've been told for the first, 2 movies of this trilogy, like, oh, this is the big, scary guy, like he's evil, you must hate him or whatever. And then this movie, it's like, no, sympathize with him. It's like, what? How? What? How are we going to do that? And they're like, oh, shit. We actually do sympathize with him. Okay, I get it.
Oh, yeah. And then, let's not forget about the space battle, once the shield's down and, they're trying to maneuver their way below the Death Star one more time. Bro, that was such a sick battle in space.
Yeah, Lando Calrissian, man who is, only responsible for helping blow up the second Death Star here. His character is not important. All he wanted to do was get inside Leia's trousers, according to some people.
As a kid, I got Lando. And then I got Mace Windu. Like, Mace Windu was solid. At least he was a Jedi instead of like a guy who was just trying to get into Leia's trousers. But like, I love Lando, you guys. I wrote a book.
They should watch that.
I know. That I will not let that go. And at the end of the day, like, people that think that clearly didn't watch the original trilogy. Or if they did, they just clearly didn't pay enough attention to it. So, yeah, whatever.
Did you not see his leadership being like, split up and let's see if we can get these couple of TIE fighters to steer away? And bro, this scene is hilarious, I forget the Admiral's name. Wait, oh yeah, Admiral Veers.
Oh yeah, intensify forward firepower. And then the A-Wing just crashes into the bridge. Yeah, I remember that.
And then, once you see Wedge and the Falcon going there, it's like one shot, boom. And then, Wedge escapes the Death Star, but the Falcon's still in there. It's like, oh no, don't tell me Lando's not gone. Come on now. We only got him for one movie, guys. Come on, don't kill him off right now. And sure enough, they escaped, and you see the whole Death Star blow up again, man.
Yes. Nine Numbs on the ship, like, yeah.
Bro, he was so funny.
Nine Numbs, my guy.
I think of the little baby. Okay, we need to talk about one of these movies now. I think of the little baby.
Dude, my love for Nyan Num comes from the first EA Battlefront game. That was cool. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, like, dude, that was one of my go-tos, man. That's my guy. And then I'd always do the laughing taunts with him too, like the yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I love that.
I keep thinking of little baby and the fish from American Dad, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, that too. That's funny.
But yeah, so everyone is celebrating. Ewoks.
Wait, can I just say? Sorry, can I just say this too about Wedge Antilles? We forgot to point out he's a squad leader in this movie. He's Red Leader. In the other movie, he was like what, Red 2 or Red 3, and then he's like part of Rogue Squad, and now he's like leading a squad into battle. So the progression of Wedge, good for him.
Wait, Luke got promoted too, then, right?
I would assume so. Yeah.
Leia's like telling Han he's my brother, and then Han's like, wait, what?
Han's expression was hilarious, man. He's like, what? What?
And then Wicket comes over, and they have a nice moment. And
he then becomes very happy because he's like, I have no more competition. Yay.
Yep. You see that relief in Han, like, finally, no more competition.
Yeah.
Took me 3 movies, but I got there.
I love it. Han was just like, you love him, don't you? And she's like, well, yes. Because, like, I mean, obviously she means, like, I love him because he's my brother. But Han didn't know that yet. So he's like, all right, fine. Like, when he comes back, I won't get in the way. And that's when she says, like, he's my brother. And he's like, what?
Well, Han's like, I understand. Yeah, if you want to, go and celebrate with him, I won't be in the way. I'll be crying in the corner.
I'll go cry in the corner.
Friend.
Yeah,
I'll cry with Chewbacca.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have like the funeral scene for Anakin, right, or for Vader. Their little sad emotional scene right there. And then, thank goodness for the remakes or whatever. Because then you go through and you add all the planets in there, right? Like Tatooine, Naboo, Coruscant.
Yeah, Cloud City.
Stuff. Yeah, man, like you love to see it.
And you hear the joyous music in the background. It's like, ooh, I could groove to this beat here. And then
everyone's having a good time. Everyone's dancing and having fun. Got Ewoks doing cartwheels.
3PO's dancing with a teddy bear. It's like, yeah, 3PO, you do it, man.
Everybody's giving each other hugs. You've got Han and Lando hugging. Then you got Lando and Chewie. I love the one moment when Lando's with Chewie and he's just like making all these hand motions and stuff. Like, you see it went that way. And like, you should see the man. We flew out of there and blew up. Like, it's crazy. I love it.
And then Luke and Wedge, are acknowledging that they both had contributed to this, amazing.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you contributed up here, I contributed over there, they contributed over here, we all contributed.
And as we get near the end of the movie, Luke, goes out the distance and sees Obi-Wan and Yoda, and then sure enough, you see the young Hayden Christensen Anakin, and it's like, yeah,
I love it.
And then Leia takes him to be with the Gain, and like. I bet they were all like proud father and uncles, like, that's our guy right there. He did it for us. He did it for us.
I always wondered in that moment too, like, how does one have the ability to become a Force ghost? Like, Obi-Wan, we see him do it, and then we see Yoda do it now, like, oh, this is new. Now, wait a second, Anakin, you were a Sith for all this time. How do you just all of a sudden get to become a Force ghost like this? I had so many questions.
You gotta wonder how Obi-Wan, you gotta wonder how Obi-Wan and Yoda feel. It's like, oh, this is the you before you became all machine. I keep thinking of the what if this movie ended in a different way. We're missing Qui-Gon, we're missing Master Windu, and all the younglings, man.
Yeah, it's funny. I think George Lucas, from what I remember, I think the reason why he had when they did the remake and they had Hayden Christensen do Anakin for this part. I think the reason, like, well, why doesn't Anakin look so much older and stuff? Because I think the point that he basically made was like, well, I wanted you to see Anakin like right before he becomes Darth Vader. Like, so in a way, Anakin does die, I guess. I can't remember the way that he described it, but like, this is basically the moment where Anakin died. So here's how he would be remembered or whatever, something like that. It's really interesting. And again, I have like, even to this day, I know they've expanded on the Force Ghost lore in like the Clone Wars, but I still have so many questions about it. And like, how was Anakin able to do it? And yeah, man, just so many questions.
Well, who doesn't? But I'm telling you, bro, they need to get Qui-Gon in there because he kind of helped everyone.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that's part of the fun too, right? Is like you get to speculate and think about these things. That's all part of it. It's not like I have to know every little detail about what goes on.
So it makes it fun about Star Wars, all the little things.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're right. And Orkaz, I remember I was on with Orkaz a couple videos ago. So he was saying the same thing. No, you're absolutely right. It's like that's part of the fun of it all is the speculation of it. So yeah, I mean, we could sit here all day and talk about it, but
oh yeah. So then, you know, as they're looking on the Luke proudly, you see the gang in one picture, and it's like, wow, that was a way to end this trilogy. They did good. And then sure enough, the credits come, and it's like, now that was cinema. A cherry on top.
Many people to this day will still say that should have been the ending. Like, you know, you make your prequels, and that's the first 6, and you're done. What a perfect way to end. Don't do any more.
I know that the new trilogy came, but episode 6 will be the still original ending in my heart.
Yeah, for sure, dude, for sure.
It is what it is, but episode 6 will still be it'll be like the Last Crusade, you know, everyone going off in the sunset, you know.
Yeah, that's actually a really good analogy. I think you have a really good point about that. It's like the more sequel movies that they make for all these like franchise and stuff, it's like, all right, you really should have stopped at this one, but then they didn't because they see dollar signs and it's like, oh, we got to make another one and we got to make more money, even if it like comes at the cost of the story. And just, I don't know. I've never been a fan of that way of thinking. Perfect ending.
You can't, you know, you can't think of any other way to see the group there one more time together. It's like, now that's cool because we don't need to talk about what happened in the new trilogy yet.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, yeah, like I said before, this is one of my favorite Star Wars movies of all time. I love it for like I mean, we've already talked about it all, man, but like legit, man, every part of this movie is so great. And the Luke and Vader stuff, space battles, the Jabba Palace scenes, and everything in between. Like it's all fantastic.
It's been so cool to talk about these movies with you in an in-depth analysis. It was very cool.
Heck yeah, man. Dude, 3 great episodes of our podcast here, man, talking about the original trilogy. I love it.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, you really can't top any ending like that. It's one of the better endings for a movie.
So that means we're going to have to say goodbye to the original trilogy movies for now, as we've had our discussions about them now. We did what we set out to do, man, and I'm very happy we got to do so. But now it's time for us to start expanding our horizons here on the Sector for Nerds podcast, the R&D movie podcast, as we're calling it right now, which means we're going to be taking a little bit of a different direction now with this, where we're going to start expanding to other genres of movies. We talked about it earlier. The next movie that we're going to talk about is an animated movie from DreamWorks called Kung Fu Panda. And we're going to explore everything, you guys. We're going to explore all different types of genres of movies that we've loved growing up. We're going to talk about new movies that are released in theaters this year. Like, for example, you guys, I think in a couple months' time, we've got the Super Mario Galaxy movie coming out, and we're both very much looking forward to that.
3 more months, man. 3 more months.
3 more months. So then in 3 more months, that's going to be our episode of the podcast is talking about that movie. So I guess I just want to put this out there because like I understand that my channel has always been Star Wars has always been the sole focus, and it always still will be. Like no matter what, Star Wars is always going to be the thing. But when it comes to this podcast, we are going to start branching out and talking about different things. And I hope that you guys take a chance on this besides just the Star Wars stuff and come with us on this journey because we think it's going to be worth the while. We really do.
And especially with like Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out, Supergirl, and the biggest movie coming out this year, Avengers Doomsday. Like, we're gonna have a lot to talk about here, and we cannot wait to share this journey with you guys.
It's going to be a lot of fun, dude, and there's nobody else I'd rather be doing this with, so I'm very, very excited.
Same here, man. And low key, man, when it was like January 1st, 2026, I'm like, I have a good feeling. This is gonna be our year, man. This is gonna be our Return of the Jedi. This is gonna be our year.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah, absolutely. So with that in mind, you guys, we hope you guys stay tuned for the next episode. Obviously, stay tuned for all the other content that we've got here on Sector for Nerds. Dude, we're almost done with this Clone Wars series, man, that I've been doing on here since like 2023. That's how long we've been doing this. And we're coming down to the final stretch, you guys. So hope you guys are there for those videos. And then as soon as we're done with that show, we're going to start getting into just another show that I'm very fond of in the Star Wars universe called Star Wars Rebels. So I hope you guys join me for that journey as well, and any other ventures that we take here on the channel. So that is going to wrap us up for today, you guys. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others to help support the channel, and we will see you guys next time.